Vehicle owners in Fargo, beware. One family says a thief was able to break into their trucks parked outside by simply reaching his hand into his pocket. It's a story we first brought you last night. The Ochoa family contacted our whistleblower hotline after thousands of dollars of electronics were stolen from their locked trucks. But how did this thief manage to get inside? Valley News Team's Bradford Eric tells us how auto industry experts have known about this technology for years.
It's second nature to most of us. We park our cars, close the door, and hit the button, and we think we're pretty safe. But that didn't stop this thief from making off with thousands of dollars in equipment from one Fargo family. The person even having time to stop for a smoke break in between break-ins.
I mean, when you watch the footage, you can see he's just in his pocket. That's it. And then it's opened. Our vehicles don't react at all. They don't do the lights.
The thinking is that this person was possibly using a relay attack device, electronic equipment that takes the radio frequency signal from your key fob and uses it to unlock the vehicle.
I don't know. I'm just in the 20s and I'd be concerned if someone broke into my car. I don't keep anything important there, but it would be really concerning if I just came into my car and someone was sitting there.
I haven't heard anything about it, but I mean, kind of like I said before, I don't really keep anything in there, so I won't worry too much.
This was known back in 2011, and last December, the National Insurance Crime Bureau bought one of these devices, unlocking 19 different makes and models of vehicles and driving away with all but one. The agency says, quote, manufacturers have made tremendous strides with their technology, but now they have to adapt and develop countermeasures as threats like this surface. Police advise parking in well-lit areas and in your garage instead of outside. Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
This theft happened on Martin's Way in South Fargo. You're also encouraged to call police if you have any information on who this person might be. As for what to do to protect yourself, the spokesperson for the National Insurance Crime Bureau says you should watch out for suspicious activity and avoid leaving important documents like your vehicle registration or title in your vehicle. Instead, take a picture on your phone. They also say the old-fashioned club method also presents a deterrent for would-be thieves. After the chilly weekend, it's nice to see quiet and a little bit warmer weather. Hutch, any concerns for tonight?
Well, this picture says 1,000 words. Number one, the wind has taken the day off after a brisk wind out of the northwest the last several days. It's a lot quieter wind-wise across the valley, and temperatures responding pretty well. We are mid-70s in Fargo, upper 70s and low 80s out in the western Dakotas, still 60s across much of Minnesota. Out to the east near Lake Superior, a few passing showers, but in our neck of the woods, temperatures will hover about where they are right now, near 70 to 75 degrees over the next 3 to 4 hours. Beautiful evening. Light winds, perfect to get out and enjoy your Monday night. Grand Forks, likewise, will be in the 70s through the 8 o'clock hour, dipping into the 60s. The air over us right now, pretty dry, but there is a chance for some rain in the forecast. Andrea, in a couple of minutes, we'll go over that chance of rain and thunder. A few storms could be strong. We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A Minnesota man who kidnapped and raped a 5-year-old girl after killing her babysitter has now been sentenced to more than 50 years in prison. 33-year-old Jacob Kinn of Bemidji was sentenced today after pleading guilty to second-degree murder, kidnapping, and criminal sexual conduct charges. Investigators say he admitted to having a sexual relationship with Melissa Norby, the kidnapping victim's babysitter, who was later found dead. Police found Norby's body after investigating a mobile home fire that appeared to have been an arson case that was tied to Kinn. Kinn was an early suspect in the kidnapping because of a previous child pornography charge. And investigators later found that he and Norby had planned to abduct the 5-year-old girl to sexually assault her. A traffic stop in Fargo turned up drugs earlier this afternoon. 33-year-old Kayla Byer faces charges of possessing meth and drug paraphernalia. It happened near the Come On Inn, near the Fargo-Moorhead Convention and Visitors Bureau. Officers were tipped off that the driver may have been on drugs. Police tell us they searched the vehicle and found a small amount of meth. A couple of cars at a salvage yard in North Fargo caught fire this afternoon. Behind me is video from our Skycam of the large smoke cloud that could be seen earlier today. Now, the fire department says employees at 7th Avenue Auto were using torches to cut apart 2 pickups when the trucks caught fire. When crews arrived on the scene, the 2 trucks were fully engulfed, but the fire was put out in about 10 minutes. The Grand Forks Police Department is asking for your help in finding this missing 17-year-old. Mason Komrowski was last seen this past Friday. If you have any information on where he might be, call police at 787-8000. That number is right there on your screen. We now know the name of the man killed in a rollover crash over the weekend. 20-year-old Michael Westfall of Bismarck died after being thrown from the car. According to the driver, they were heading south near Underwood, North Dakota on Highway 83 Saturday night when they became distracted. The car began going off the road and the driver overcorrected, causing it to roll into the ditch. Westfall died on the scene. The other passenger, 19-year-old Manhattan Spangler, was taken by ambulance to a hospital. A number of tips led officers in Stutsman County to the arrest of this man, 57-year-old James Storley. He was wanted for possessing a controlled substance with intent to deliver, possessing drug paraphernalia, and violating a 24/7 program. Storley was arrested in an abandoned trailer home in Montpelier yesterday morning. He's being held at the Stutsman County Correctional Center. A scary situation for shoppers and employees at the Family Dollar store in Valley City this past weekend. The police department was called out yesterday for reports of a man with a gun in the parking lot. The man called the store saying he was holding a female hostage and wanted prepaid credit card numbers. Once police arrived, they did not see a man, but employees in the store were still talking to the suspect on the phone. Police then took over the call and worked with a cell phone provider who determined the call was coming from Alabama. Police are still investigating, but say terrorizing charges are pending. The family of Philando Castile, the man who was shot and killed by a police officer last year, has reached a settlement with the city of St. Anthony, Minnesota for $3 million. Castile was shot by former police officer Geronimo Yanez during a traffic stop. Yanez was charged in the killing, but he was acquitted of second-degree manslaughter and related counts earlier this month. Yanez is leaving the St. Anthony Police Department. The Congressional Budget Office today issued its score on the Senate health care bill. According to the CBO, the Senate health care bill would result in 22 million more uninsured Americans by 2026. The legislation would also decrease federal deficits by a total of $321 billion over a decade. The score comes out as several Republican senators have already said they want to see the Senate bill cover more people than the House version. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wants the Senate to vote on the bill before their 4th of July recess. The Supreme Court announced it's letting most of President Trump's controversial travel ban go into effect while the court prepares to hear the case this fall. Weijia Zhang reports from the Supreme Court.
President Trump is celebrating the Supreme Court's decision to review his travel ban this fall and to allow most of the executive order to take effect in the meantime. The White House issued a statement calling the decision a clear victory for our national security. The 90-day ban would apply to most citizens from Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen, countries the Trump administration calls terror-prone.
Unless you have some sort of contacts with the United States, a relative, a business relationship, certain other things that qualify for that, you are, if you're from one of these 6 countries, you will be stopped from entering the country.
The justices are also allowing a 120-day ban on refugees to go into effect on a limited basis.
3 of the court's conservative justices, Justice Clarence Thomas, Justice Samuel Alito, and the newest Justice Neil Gorsuch, said they would have permitted the entire ban to take effect without exceptions.
The travel ban sparked massive protests and lawsuits, but the Supreme Court said the lower courts that blocked the travel policy went too far in limiting the president's authority. The justices are expected to hear full arguments in October. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
The Department of Homeland Security said it will consult with its state and justice departments and then provide details on how the executive order will be implemented. A Yemeni government official, along with refugee groups, have expressed disappointment in the Supreme Court decision. The construction continues in the West Fargo area. 8th Street West from Main Avenue to 2nd Avenue West will be closed down for quite some time. There's some underground work going on there, so the road will be closed until September 1st. However, crews are hoping to get done before that date. A new grocery store is coming to the Valley, and employees say it's similar to the chain Whole Foods, except with better prices. Prairie Roots Food Co-op will be located in downtown Fargo near North University Drive and will focus on offering local and regional products. Employees say it's different from other grocery stores because members own it and have a say in the operation. Members can vote on things like a board of directors, what to do with the profits, and also get member shopping perks.
If you're a member, you get all of the perks, but you don't have to use them all. You can just come and get extra sales and extra deals, on certain items. Otherwise, you can attend like the member meetings. You can choose the board members and vote on things like that.
The store will also have a make your own peanut and almond butter station. To learn more about Prairie Roots Food Co-op, or just click on this story on our website, valleynewslive.com. And remember to like Valley News Live on our Facebook page. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.